Hi all. In this video, I'm going to provide a brief introduction to BlueJ and show you how to run the projects that come with your textbook, which I've already sent you. So BlueJ is the IDE that we're using for this course. What I've done here is I've started up BlueJ and created a new project which gives me this screen. Now very soon we'll be creating our own classes, and from those classes we'll be creating objects. I'll show you that quickly without going into any details. I'll make a new class called student. There's student. There's the code for student. I'm not going to say anything about what that does for now. And I can compile that, and that turns it into bytecode so that the Java virtual machine can run it. And that's a compiled class. That's all it is. But to actually make something that an object of that class, this is object-oriented programming after all, what I have to do is right-click on it and do new student. And down here, you'll see that I now have an object of the student class, right? And I can make lots of them. There's another object of the student class, and I can keep doing this. And when I make them, I can give them names. So I could call this me, okay, or whatever. And as I make objects, they all appear down here. Now each of these is their own, has all the code from the class up here inside of them, but it also, each of these also may have some information that's unique to that object, like in this case the name of a student, okay, or their age or something like that. Now down here I can right click on these, and you'll see that there's one method within this, and it's just a default method that's created whenever you make a new class. It has nothing to do with students, but we'll just select it. And what you'll see is that this method, sample method, has a parameter, which means all that means is it wants us to pass in some information, in this case an integer value. That's what the int means, so a number. So I'll pass in a single number, 2. I'll specify the number, and when I click here, that number is passed into student 1's sample method. And that method actually does something. All it does is returns whatever was passed in. Okay, so it returned 2, and it showed me that by putting a 2 here. All right. So we're going to spend a lot of time on this, but I just wanted to show you a class and then objects that are created of that class, right? So now let's look at how to run the book projects. So in chapter 2, there are a bunch of Hello World classes, and from tools I can do, from edit I can do add class from file. And within BlueJ, you navigate this way, so I have to go back to my desktop, and here are our student files, and here's chapter 2. If I need to back up again, I go just like this, and I can back up to the desktop. To drill down, you can just double click. So chapter 2, hello, and what I can do is select all of these, like that, and do add, and there they are. I've added 3 classes to BlueJ, right? And let's open up Hello World and look at this. So here's about as simple a program you can get in Java. This is public class Hello World. Now it has this method that looks a little strange: public static void main string args, string with these brackets, and then a parameter name called args. We just talked about parameters passing values into methods. So this is the parameter for this particular method, which is called main. Now this is the way outside of BlueJ, almost all programs have a main method, which is a way to start up the program. And when you start it up, to pass it some values. BlueJ does things a little differently within its own classes, because what you do to start up a BlueJ class, that you've created an object from is you do new student, right? And that creates another one of these objects. This public static void main string args is another way to start up your class. And that's what the programs for chapter 2, that's the method that the programs for chapter 2 use. So these braces simply define a scope, an area that is within this method, and you can see it's highlighted in yellow as well to sort of show you that these all go together. And then we have another set of braces out here that say this is everything within these two braces is the content of this class hello world. Okay, cool. Now, if I come back here and do compile, right-clicked on it, did compile, it turns, it gets rid of the striped lines, which simply means that the program hasn't compiled yet. And now I can right-click on it. I could do new hello world, but that's not going to do me any good because there are no, other than main, there are no methods in this program that in this class that show up here, right? Unlike when I made a new student, oops, there was a method, sample method that I could call. Because hello world only has the main method, and main methods don't show up in that list. You can't run them the way I ran student. So what you do here is you just right-click on it and choose that, and that will start up this program. And remember that it had the parameter. It wanted some related to strings. So I'm not going to type anything here. I'm just going to say OK. And there is hello world. And why does it say hello world here? Because the one command inside this program is to output to the text output window, system out println. That's how you do it in Java. The string, which is the words between two full quotes, hello world. If I change this to hello world 2, what's going to print out when I compile and run this? Well, let's see. I'll compile it, and you know it's going to, and choose void main string args, and it's going to say hello world 2. Okay? And so that's how you can get these programs in to BlueJ. And I'm going to stop here because this is getting too long already. And I hope that it's enough to get you started using the book projects for Chapter 2. Thanks. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask.